Okay, this is The Elder Scrolls Online, and this is a redo of a video that I did before. For some reason, it didn't record right, and that was a problem. I left it up, and then I decided to take it down. What I do is I schedule videos to release in the days coming up. And so I thought about it for a couple of days before it actually launched, and I decided I didn't like the quality of it, and so I took it down. I'd really like a blue face here, but there isn't an option for that as far as I see. I'd like blue skin as a Dunmer, but okay, not a big deal. I go with a small gut, a small waist, bigger arms, a little bigger hands, and a little bigger foot. The last time it recorded in 180, but in a 4K in a 4K screen, so everything was up in the upper left-hand corner.
Can you move?
So we're doing The Elder Scrolls Online from the beginning, including the tutorial. And this is the poorly aging, heavily sarcastic, witty PC gamer. Says find a way to escape Cold Harbor. Says talk to Hanavi. Hanavi would be Hebrew for the prophet. So there's a ghostly character there. We will go talk to him. Hopefully very sarcastically.
Slowly now. You've been through an ordeal. Take a few moments to collect yourself.
Dude, what's happening? Who art thou?
Like you, I am a prisoner in this place. Yet so much more. I am the past and the future, both. I am despair and hope. The tapestry we weave is a complex one. You cannot hope to see its pattern in its entirety. Not yet.
Dude, that was a lot of nothing. Are you like taking LSD or something? Of course, my young audience won't know what LSD is. So, are you on some kind of hallucinogenic drug? Was the question. Okay, you're not answering. You also look like a ghost, so I don't know why I'm talking to a ghost. And it looks like your clothes are just kind of stitched together very poorly. Not just hand stitched by somebody at home, but very poorly, and like they're barely hanging on. Let me ask you something though, just to get back to this. What do you want from me?
You must rescue me, and I, in turn, must rescue you. You must escape from this cell, take up arms, and protect yourself. Then find Lyris Titanborn.
Okay, so I must escape from the cell, take up arms, protect myself, then, only then, after I've escaped from the cell, taken up arms, and protected myself, then, after doing all those other things, I'm to find Lyris Titanborn. Lyris Titanborn? Who is that? I don't understand.
Whoa there. Are you all right?
As you see,
Lyris.
it immediately breaks its own rules. How you
You've still got some
say.
fight left in you. You're going to need it.
You will see what I mean in a moment.
Dead. Must have been the runt of the litter.
See, I've
Weapon ready
already
and stay
found
sharp.
Lyris
This place is full
Titanborn
of surprises.
without doing all of those things that they said to do. Oh, by the way, I probably should equip all my champion skill points. And I don't have a particular way of doing this. I know most people, you know, they go to, you know, build books or something like that. And I'm not putting that down. I just go with whatever seems right to me at the time. I just play how I feel like playing. If I see something that appeals to me, and if I have the champion points to get it, then I do it. So this has to be put on the bar up there. Increases your out of combat movement speed. Reduces the cost of sneak. I didn't even know sneak cost. So see, I'm learning. Removes 1,000 from your gold bounty. I'm not saying I'm a lawbreaker, but yeah, just in case, that'll take 1,000 off of my bounty every day, as long as I don't get caught. And those are the ones for craft, and then we'll go to the ones for warfare. This will increase my magic up. This will increase my critical chance. Weapon and spell damage. Maximum magicka. Critical damage and critical healing. That's only if I'm flanking. This makes my enemies violently explode when I kill them, which might hurt other enemies standing by. I heal by dealing direct damage to people, and those are the ones. So when you first start out the game, you get these if you have a character that ever got any champion points. Which means you're gonna level faster with these other later characters than you got with your first character. I confess I like starting characters more than I like playing characters. So I generally have more, yeah, I generally have every one of my character slots filled. I had to get rid of one in order to show you the beginning of the Elder Scrolls Online. But I wanted to do this because I want to have a variety of games represented here on
Keep
my
moving.
channel.
There are more Daedra on the way. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, you don't have to keep telling me to keep moving.
Don't stop now. Keep moving. More guards.
Everybody's telling me to keep moving. I was moving without being told to keep moving. Keep shutting up. Now this is obviously a tutorial, so it's showing me how to fight, even though, spoiler alert, I don't fight with melee weapons in the game if I can avoid it. People ask me, what class do you use? I'm basically a coward. And what the coward class is, for people who don't know, is it's somebody that sits in the back.
Hold a moment. Come here. We need to
Yeah,
talk.
I was trying to explain stuff to him. By the way, your clothes look like they were made by Hanabi's clothier as well. Just thrown together pieces of scrap that were around.
This place is an abomination. You can almost feel the hatred emanating from every rock.
Who are you? Who? I really wanna know. Who are you? Who?
A fellow prisoner. The name's Lyris.
There's Titanborn? I was told to find you after I escaped from this place, and after I did all those things that were on the list that the Navi gave me.
What? Who told you to find me?
A strange figure appeared in my cell. His clothes were put together from scraps, kind of like yours, although he wasn't as busty as you. He was an old man in rags.
The Prophet. He
Hanabi,
spoke to you? What did he say?
he said our fact is, I'm sorry, our fates are intertwined. I get fat and fate confused. He didn't say you'd be so tall.
Ha! That sounds like the Prophet, all right. He's a prisoner here too. It was very dangerous for him to speak to you, even for a moment. You must think you can help me.
You know, when you stand like that, your bust really sticks out. It's hard to concentrate. So please try not to do that. Besides, this is a G-rated YouTube channel of the highly esteemed, poorly aging, highly sarcastic PC gamer. But we don't have any adult stuff. These videos aren't made for kids, but we don't have any adult stuff in them. So try to keep that in mind while we do this. And for everybody out there in YouTube land, like and subscribe. We'll try to build a channel here. Like and subscribe. We're playing a bunch of different games. I have thousands of games on my computer. We will give a sample of many different games And then when we have subscribers, I'll listen to the subscribers. If they'd like me to play particular games, I probably will. Otherwise, we'll do a wide variety of them, from role-playing games to RTSs. You don't care about all this? Okay, well, bottom line is, I can still hear his call, his voice in my head. All those voices in my head are calling Glory, which is weird because my name isn't Gloria. My name is YouTube Dunmer Dude. What does he want me to help you do?
Break him out, of course. Believe me, I can use all the help I can get. That blind old man is the only person alive who can help us get back home. Tamriel's a long way from here.
Wait a minute. He's called Hanavi, the prophet. A prophet is a seer. You're telling me the seer is blind?
These tunnels will eventually take us to the Towers of Eyes. That's where we'll find the Sentinels.
So the blind man is in the Tower of Eyes. Does anybody else see the irony in this? I have so many questions. What answers will you choose?
I'm sure you do, and I'll answer them as best I can.
Who is this Navi, this prophet?
He's a strange one, no doubt about it.
Oh, and you're not?
He's the wisest man I've ever met. He sees things, the past, the future.
So the blind man sees things. Have you thought about that? He lives in the Tower of Eyes and sees things, and yet he's blind. Just try and get that in your head for a minute. What is this place? Where am I? I say, what is this place? Where am I?
You're obviously not in Tamriel anymore.
What is
Think
Tamriel
of the
anymore?
most miserable, depressing place you've ever been in your life.
Utah.
That's paradise compared to Cold Harbor.
Oy vey.
And to top it off, well, there's no easy way to say it. You're dead.
Am I Grateful Dead, at least? Yeah, don't look away when I do my stupid jokes. I am supposed to be a sarcastic gamer. So, some of the sarcasm is going to come across in humor. Don't look at me like that. This is just a game. Besides, if I'm dead, then how are we having this conversation?
I don't know. Once we rescue the Prophet, he can tell you about the gods and the ways of oblivion. I don't understand any of it myself.
No. There aren't gods. Okay? There's one God. If you worship a bunch of gods, or even believe in the existence of a bunch of gods, I can't help you. There's only one God, and I believe in him. Now, how can we rescue Hanavi?
It won't be easy. The place is watched by magical constructs called Sentinels. We won't stand a chance unless we can blind them. I'll tell you more when we get there. And we'll never get there if we don't get moving.
If I'm dead, who killed me?
A man named Manamarco. His worm cult is doing some kind of ritual back in Tamriel. They sacrificed you and everyone in this prison to the Daedric Prince Molag Bal. After you died, whatever was left showed up here. They call you the Soul Shriven.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this means. I don't know what a Manamarco is, a worm cult. You keep talking about Tamriel, I don't know what that is. I gotta tell you, I woke up today in prison. I don't know what I did or am accused of doing that got me in prison. That's the first thing, so try and wrap your head around that. And on top of that, a ghost kind of guy comes to me in my cell and tells me a bunch of gibberish nonsense, doesn't make any sense, and then tells me that after I get out of all of this, I'm supposed to meet Alaris Titanborn. But then you show up before I can do any of the things on his list, and then you're telling me a bunch of stuff about Tamriel, Manamarco, Molag Bal, the Soul Shriven. I don't understand any of this. What does that mean?
It means you're a slave and you'll spend the rest of eternity here in Cold Harbor, working under the lash of the Daedra. Unless, of course, you come with me.
Are, are you dead too?
No, I wasn't sacrificed. The Prophet and I were brought here conventionally, if that makes any sense. But we're prisoners here, same as you.
No, none of this makes any sense. None of it at all. Shillong.
We should keep moving.
I had a feeling you'd say that. All the voices in my head are calling Gloria, Gloria, Gloria. Here they want me to learn dodge, but I pretty much never dodge in the game.
Well
You're
played,
level
friend.
2.
Arcade's beard, you are good in a fight.
Claim your rewards. So I will
The god
now...
of brutality knows of your escape. Hurry.
So I will add 1 to my health. Now over on the left-hand side, they give ideas about what might be the most helpful skills given the choices you've made already. So since I'm a Warden Initiate, that's like my class, Dive, which has enemies come down out of the sky and whap people, would be a good skill to have. And I agree. But I'm going to start out with fungal growth because this is it's a healing thing. And it'll grow into an activity bar like this that it's showing. So now, when I hit 1, everybody in the radius of 20 meters, which I don't do the metric system, so I don't know what 20 meters is. If they're an ally of mine, will be healed for 4,705 health. So I thought the first attribute I got should be healing. The next one will probably be the dive, the
The
attack
god of
from
schemes can see
above.
every part of Cold Harbor. We need to distract him.
There is no god of schemes, okay, you pagan. Now the compass shows my current quest, and so it shows where I need to go. Like, I'm supposed to destroy the Cold Harbor Sentinels.
What was your name again? Target practice?
As you see, there's other people in the game. This is a multiplayer game. Now, I usually play it like a single player game. I don't play well with others. Any game. Or in real life.
Come get some more, you skeeving hawkers.
So, I don't make the most of this as a multiplayer game, but I played Elder Scrolls games quite a bit. I still do. And this is an Elder Scrolls game, so I play it pretty much like a regular RPG, like a regular role-playing game. That having been said, there are places that were extremely hard to get past, and I wanted to get the full, just so you know, I paid full price for this long before it came out. It sells for a lot less now, but I paid full price for it, and so I have tried social aspects, talk to people in the chat that shows up.
Who taught that one to fight? God of self-punishment?
And I've joined some guilds. And I would say for the most part, the people that I have met have been really nice. I'm just showing how you hide in barrels and then people can't see you. I don't think I need to do that right now, but I'm just showing how it works. For the most part, I do like this game. I don't know if I'm going to play games on... Oh, if I had a filled soul gem, I could resurrect this person who is another real person in the game, but I don't have a filled soul gem, so I can't do that. I might end up playing games even that I don't like in my channel. I don't know, because I have thousands of games, so I just use my healing there. But mostly I'm going to play games that I like. And most of the people I've met in this game, I met through guilds. Guilds are groups you can join. I mean, it's confusing, the language, because in the game itself there are guilds like you have in other Elder Scrolls games, like the Fighters Guild, the Thieves Guild, and all of that. But there's also guilds that are made up of the players themselves, which are groups of players. They build their own market areas, their own stores. They have their own activities. And I've joined several of those. Some were better than others, but I can't
get to the prophet's cell.
I can't think of anybody that I've met in the Elder Scrolls Online that wasn't really quite helpful and all of that. People that were higher level than me not only taught me how to do a lot of things, they, for the most part, didn't look down on me for not having the skills they had. I've been around, just so you know, I played...
That might have been a fair fight.
I played, I think, the alpha of this.
You will never escape my realm.
Hermamora's whacking tongue. The door's warded. We'll never get in this way.
I know I played the beta of it, so I've been around from the beginning.
Damn it. Destroying the Sentinel must have triggered these wards. We'll need to find another way in. Maybe Cadwell can help us.
It was your idea to destroy the Sentinels, so you're leading us down the wrong path. So don't complain that destroying the Sentinels triggered these wards. It was your stupid idea. Now, who, in fact, is this Cadwell?
Cadwell is the oldest of the Soul Shriven. After years of torment, Soul Shriven usually go insane and turn feral. But not Cadwell. He was already insane before he left Tamriel. Mad as a box of frogs, but completely harmless. You'll see.
Can you tell me what Tamriel is? That would be very helpful at this point. Remember, I just woke up in a cell. I have no memory of any past. And also, how can a madman possibly help us?
Cadwell sees things as he wishes them to be. To him, Cold Harbor is a wondrous place. It's his home. And he knows it like the back of his hand. He's usually down by the river. Let's go find him.
Hopefully he can get you better clothing, because yours looks like it's going to fall apart at any second. Which, probably wouldn't be a good idea, especially on a G-rated YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
One fine day in the middle of the night. Hello, what's this? Out for a stroll then? Lovely day for it.
You must be completely insane. I mean, you've got a cooking pot on your head. You think it's a good day. I'm gonna go out on a limb. You must be Cadwell.
Sir Cadwell, yes, indeed, a pleasure. And fair Lyris, good to see you, my dear. How are you then?
We're trying to get inside Hanabi's cell. The door is sealed.
Oh dear, well that is inconvenient, isn't it? Tell you what, I happen to know another way in. Much more of a scenic route. Rather a fun little jaunt, actually, full of traps and corpses and nasty beasties filling up the bits in between.
How do we get through all of that?
Rather cautiously, I expect. Watch your step, hold your nose, and do mind the traps. There'll like as not be a fair dose of running and skull bashing as well.
Where's the entrance?
Follow the river. You'll find the door to the undercroft at the water's end. Once you're inside, stick to the light, and you'll find a ladder that will take you right up to the prophet straight away. Do give him my best.
Gracias. See, I'm a man of many languages. English, Hebrew, Spanish. Muchos gracias. Whatever. Guess he doesn't know Spanish.
Best of luck. Do check in now and again, won't you?
How do you know the lyrics?
Ah, Lyris, girls as mad as sheer Gorus jammies. Heart's in the right place, I suppose. Says she's got to rescue the prophet to save us all from eternal torment. How an old blind man could do that is quite beyond me.
What do you know about Hanabi?
An imperial gentleman. Apparently he was once a powerful mage, but the years haven't been kind. Lyris says he knows of a path back to Tamriel. I rather think that if one existed, I'd have found it by now.
What is Tamriel? Can anybody tell me what Tamriel is? That would be very helpful at this point in my development. You don't think there's a way to get home? There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Given it much thought.
There's no place like home.
Anything's possible, I suppose. Truth is, I've been here so long, this place feels like home. But a good uprising now and again is a pleasant diversion, so where's the harm, eh?
Tell me about yourself, sir. Cadwell.
Well, there's not much to tell, is there? It's the same
I don't know.
Pish-tosh, gallant knight, epic quests, rescued maidens. I came to this land when my head was quite unceremoniously separated from my body. Bad luck, that, but you make the best of things.
Oh, I totally agree that you've lost your head. Please don't wipe your nose when you're on camera with the back of your hand. This is a YouTube channel. We want to look good for everybody watching out there in YouTube land. Like and subscribe. I just asked you not to do that. How long have you been here?
Oh, quite a long time. In fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if I was the oldest of the soul-shriven. Of those who didn't go feral, that is. I know every tunnel and path, every nook and cranny. The others look up to me, I suppose.
I don't know why you think you haven't gone feral. There's really no evidence that you haven't gone feral. Anyway, shalom.
Cadwell seems to think this undercroft is a delightful place.
Okay, we've gone to level 3 now. This time we'll add to our magicka. And now we'll get that dive that we were talking about before. And now we won't have to use the stick in our hand anymore if we don't want to. I want to be a mage. I want to use, oh yeah, we already opened that. Okay. I want to use the magic that I have rather than And you'll see what I mean by dive if you haven't seen it yet. So watch this. It just calls a creature out of the sky to fall on the guy's head. Right now it's taking up a lot of magicka, that's why it's grayed out on my bar.
The sooner you get that door open, the sooner we can get out of here.
Okay, it tells me that I can use a pin and all of that. I always just force the lock. This is presented as a really hard tutorial. It ain't. It does, you know, teach a few things along the way. I get why it's here, although it's much smaller than the tutorial to get out of the prison was when the game first launched. This was much longer, much more exciting. I think they cut it when they put out the first chapter. So, The Elder Scrolls Online has the base game, then it has DLC. So that's content that you can buy. Downloadable content is what DLC means. Now the DLC, if you subscribe for a monthly fee, then you get all the DLC included with that subscription. They say it's free, but obviously it's not free because you're paying for the subscription. And for you that want epic music, understand I turned the music down to almost nothing.
Bleed to death.
No, I don't bleed to death, but thank you for asking. I turned down most of the music because it was so loud it was getting in the way of hearing my narration. And this really wouldn't be the poorly
The prophet's
aging,
cage should be just
sarcastic
ahead. Quickly now, we haven't much time.
PC gamer if you couldn't hear me. So I wanted to be heard in my own videos. So you got the
No bad
DLC.
news. It's going to be up to you to keep him safe and get him back to Tamriel. I'm not going with you.
That's not bad news at all. She's not that good looking. Okay, so let's get through this and then we'll do the next part. The DLC is downloadable content that you can add to the main game. You can purchase it for money, or you could subscribe. You could subscribe by the year, by half a year, or by the month. And everybody who subscribes during the time of their subscription has access to the DLC. Also, every year they put out a chapter, and a chapter was an add-on that wasn't part of the main game. It's an add-on with its own lands, its own quests, all of that. And the chapters have been very good, like the Morrowind chapter and things like that. So, but the chapters were a separate cost. So even if you were paying the monthly fee, you'd have to pay, I think it was like $39 or something for the chapter, the new chapter every year. And then, but by next year, they would put out a version of the Elder Scrolls Online that included the previous year's chapter. So if you're willing to wait a year, you could get the previous year's chapter along with the Elder Scrolls. But then, of course, you would have missed playing the Elder Scrolls for a year. All this to say that when the first chapter came out, that's when I noticed that about half the content of escaping this prison was missing, and a lot of it was really exciting. I had a good time with it. This is one of the best, as I told you, especially in Bethesda games. I enjoy the new character, the first few levels, more than the rest of the game. Most people like the end game, you know, when you've gotten your skills together and you've done most of the story and all of that, the climactic ending of it. And don't get me wrong, I like the end of Skyrim, for instance. I like its main quest and everything, and I think it ends really well. But I like starting these games more than ending them. That's why I was willing to start here for you. And you can only have a certain number of characters in this game. Anyway, let's see what Lyris is talking about. She says she's not going with us.
There's a trick to opening the cell. The only way for a prisoner to leave is for another living soul to take their place. I need to swap places with the Prophet.
Couldn't we have put somebody else in that's not you and not Hanabi? There's no other way?
Believe me, I wish there was, but I don't see anyone else here with a beating heart, do you? If Molag Bal isn't stopped, he'll destroy everyone and everything we've ever loved.
Well, it's a good thing I've never loved you. Maybe if you were in different clothing or something like that. But there's that hideous scar on your face, and you've never really been that nice to me, so I'm ready when you are.
Once it's done, get moving. The Prophet will know where to go, but he'll need your eyes and your protection.
I didn't bring protection. I didn't know this was that sort of game. Shalom, fair maiden. I assume you're maiden. I don't know whether you're maiden. Don't tell me whether you're maiden. I assume you're a maiden, however, since you could be sacrificed to let us go to Molag Bal, Manamarco, Tamaria. I don't know, because I don't know what any of these words mean. I just woke up in a cell. And nobody's explained anything to me about my surrounding. Well, those just showed up. They have to mean something. Oh, it means a Jamora Banachin, or however you pronounce it, is showing up. What's interesting is that the enemies come after just me. I mean, there's two of us here. And I know they're doing this to make this a tutorial, but story-wise, it doesn't make sense that they would hate me, somebody they've never met before, but they wouldn't hate Lyris Titanborn. They wouldn't go after her and try and kill her. Especially if they're trying to thwart what we're doing, you would think they would try and keep her from making the exchange.
Freedom!
I remember this feeling. It will be fleeting, though, if Molag Bal has his way.
Well, luckily I don't know who Molag Bal is. Nobody's bothered to tell me.
Thank the divines you are safe. There is that, at least. Lyris sacrificed everything that we might go free. Her sacrifice must not be in vain.
There are no divines. There's only one God. I keep telling you this, Hanabi. You're supposed to be a prophet. If you're going to be a prophet, you got to be a prophet of the one true God, not a false prophet. So there's only one divine. So please stop being a pagan idol worshiper. Yeah. Lyris, she exchanged places with you. I don't know how it's better. I was hanging out with a chick. I mean, yeah, she wasn't great looking. She had that scar on the side of her face and everything. But I was hanging out with a chick. Now I'm hanging out with an old dude who has a purse for some reason. Oi. can't we find a way to take her with us?
I wish that were possible. But
So
I
do I.
promise you, once we escape Cold Harbor, we will find a way to rescue her together, Vestige.
Vestige.
That is the name I have given you. You are but a trace of your former self, a soulless one, an empty vessel that longs to be filled. It is as the scrolls foretold, but not exactly as I imagined.
I don't know what you mean by longs to be filled, old man, but, let's keep our distance for now. Why does Lyris call you the Prophet, Hanavi?
That is what I've come to be called. My true name is lost even to me. Years of torment have taken their toll. Quickly now, we must make haste to the anchor.
Anchor?
The anchors are Daedric machines of the darkest magic. Their chains bind our world and pull it towards Cold Harbor. I can use one of these anchors to return us to Tamriel, but you must lead me to it.
I don't know what Tamriel is. Could somebody please tell me what Tamriel is? I keep trying to tell you, I woke up in a cell this morning. And then you came to me as a ghost or something like that. I've heard about Mana Marcos, the Worm Cult, Tamriel, all of this. I don't know what any of this means. Do you understand?
Up the stairs, quickly. We must get to the anchor mooring.
Okay, nobody's going to explain a thing to me. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just lovely? You're watching the poorly aging, sarcastic,
There it is.
witty,
Anchor
intelligent
mooring.
PC gamer right here on YouTube. Your favorite new YouTube channel. Please, I beg you, like
The
and
mortal
subscribe.
thinks it can defy me. Futile. Soon your world will be in my chains.
Come, I will protect you.
You don't seem to be protecting me very well, Hanabi. There's the child of bones and the grandchild of bones. I don't know where the father of bones is, but you're supposed to be protecting me, Hanavi. So I hit the one button to get that healing we talked about. And the two to send that bird thing to do damage to the guy's head. To just fly out of the sky and land on him. I guess it's important to have a physical weapon because when I'm out of magicka, then if I didn't have a physical weapon, I wouldn't be able to do anything. Hanabi!
The Dark Anchor's portal is high above us. I will prepare a spell to lift us to it. But first,
doesn't
you must
sound very
reattune
Christian.
yourself to Nan in order to regain your physical form.
What is
To
Nen?
do this, you will need a sky shard.
Okay, I don't know what Tamriel is. The King of Worms, Mana Marcos, Nen, or a Sky Shard.
A shard of ethereal magicka that carries the essence of Nan. Some link them to Lorcan, the missing god of creation. If you collect and absorb its power, it should restore your corporeal form. I will summon one of these shards for you to absorb.
Maybe this will get me my soul back. I'm ready.
Shard of Aetherius, fall upon us now and anoint us with your blessing.
You seem to
There,
be...
quickly. collect the Sky Shard.
You seem to be praying to a false god.
Great Akatosh, dragon god of time, I require your strength. Let the way be opened. Let these wandering souls return home. Let the will of Molag Bal be denied.
Okay, you're definitely
Hurry! We
some
must go
kind
now.
of pagan. Praying to a dragon god of some sort. Akatosh. Bleak Rock Village discovered.
The vestige awakens once again.
You are
Come
now
here.
tracking
We
a
must
Golden Pursuits activity. Change or remove your tracked activity from the Golden Pursuit section of... Okay, that's all we saw of that. Okay, there's Hanavi, but again, he doesn't look like he's all together. So let's look and see what this says first. Grandmaster, your invitation is kind and the promise of coin is appealing. The village could use it. Still, I must refuse your offer of membership in the Fighters Guild. Bleak Rock is where I was born. Sure willing, it's where I will die. My bow and blade belong to this tiny island. Kind speed you on your mission against the Daedra. Darj of Bleak Rock. Okay. We have no idea what any of this means. We will talk to Hanavi.
As I feared, we arrived in different locations. I am in a place with the smell of burning ash on a hot wind and the sounds of a distant battle.
Sounds like
It
Morrowind.
matters not. You have awakened once again, and we must set you on your path.
What is a path? How long was I unconscious?
Days, weeks, I cannot tell. The voids between worlds disrupted all sense of time and space. I know only that you were deposited into the sea, and some charitable soul fished you out and brought you to dry land.
Well, if you're somewhere else, how do I get to you? What should I do now?
I'm afraid you will have to decide that for yourself. I must focus on searching for a way to repay Lyris's bold sacrifice. I cannot simply abandon her to the wrath of Molag Bal.
Will I see you again?
I cannot foresee that, not yet. But we will meet again. There is still much we need to accomplish.
So then you can foresee that. You just said you cannot foresee whether I will ever see you again. Then you said we will meet again. So are we going to meet again without me seeing you? You're not making any sense, old man. Get it together.
Be wary, Vestige. Our very plane of existence is in peril. The threat of Molag Bal looms across all Tamriel, and chaos spreads in its shadow. Danger roams the land and will assume many forms. Do not let it catch you off guard.
Where should I go?
You must find your own path.
What's a path?
Perhaps there is a reason for the place in which you find yourself. Explore, search for a cause to lend your hand. Join with others. You might even seek out those who rescued you from the sea. The choice is yours.
See, I can't say who would I join up with, because I can't ask an interrogative that ends in a preposition. So, let me see if I can fix this sentence to make it grammatically correct. With whom should I join up?
We do not face these troubled times alone. Many shall rise up to fight this tide of darkness. Wherever you go, you will encounter others who share your courage and valor. Help them if you can, and enlist their aid if you have need of it.
Yeah, you got me completely confused, Hanavi. I've got no courage. I'm some criminal that was in some prison somewhere, and if you're telling the truth, they stole my soul, which I don't think is possible. I don't think I'd still be talking to you if my soul was stolen, but who knows. You think there are many who need my help?
Indeed. I sense that even now, there are good people near you who face grave danger. They need your assistance,
should you be willing to give it. To thwart the will of Molag Bal, we must skirmish with evil wherever it rears its head.
Shalom, Hanavi.